I think that there's another timeline in history that exists where Nintendo never put out the Switch 2, Mario Kart World never cost $80, and gamers still considered them to have credibility in the gaming industry. Nintendo. What more can be said about Nintendo that Nintendeen hasn't already said? I think every YouTuber in the world right about now is complaining about Nintendo, and I don't know if I'm really here to complain about them. I just have a lot of feelings that I've built up in the last year as I've watched things unfold, and I just wanted to talk about them today. I'm not here to hate on anybody who owns a Switch 2 or bought one or heavily supports Nintendo nowadays, because at the end of the day, they're just a company and this is all just a conversation. But before we get into everything, what's going on? My name's Hiram. I'm back again to cosplay as a YouTuber. Financially, I know the Switch 2 made a lot of sense. I mean, the Switch 1 did really well. It sold amazing, and I think a lot of fans were asking for a Switch 2. I gotta be honest though, when there was rumors coming out for the Switch 2, I personally didn't really care about them. I was kind of hoping that they would have done something totally different. I mean, obviously they ended up making a Switch 2, and I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, but I was kind of personally hoping they would have done something completely new. Maybe go back to the home console experience and have a designated handheld again. I honestly think that that would have been the most in-touch choice they could have made. Like, everyone wants a 3DS nowadays. Everyone wants to buy an emulator handheld. Everyone wants all this different stuff. They would have sold so many of those. I know financially the Switch 2 was the safe choice, and I think that's why I kind of hate it. I personally don't really see anything that interesting about a Switch 2. I've never really cared about Nintendo having really good frames per second or resolution. I think games can be really good and not need 60 frames. Indie games are a really good example of this. To me, Nintendo games have always kind of felt like indie games in the sense where their art style and their game direction has always been so good. The resolution and frame rate has not really ever been that big of an issue, except for in a few key titles where I've like actually noticed it and been like, okay, that's another mark with the Switch 2 in this concept of modern Nintendo that is very unlike them to care about frame rate and resolution. I think a big part of this is because they're caring more about third party, but that kind of sucks. Like, I don't buy a Nintendo console for third parties. It's kind of been really frustrating this last year to watch them, but it's just kind of sucked, man. Like, the last year they've kind of lost their identity. They've lost a lot of what's made them unique. I think Switch 2 editions as a concept are like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Essentially what a Switch 2 edition is them repackaging a Switch 1 game and selling it to you for more money so that it plays at the resolution and frame rate that you bought the console for it to play on. It is absolutely crazy that all these Switch 1 games didn't already have a frame rate and resolution bump the moment you put the cartridge in the Switch 2. And it's so wild to see people online like celebrating when these Switch 2 editions get released. Like, are you not excited for a new game? Do you want to pay $20 extra for like 60 frames? Like, are you out of your mind? And people are like, oh, well, that's like a lot of work for them to do that. Well, guess what? It's a lot of work for me to save up $450 to buy a Switch 2. Like, that's why you buy a new console. That's why people bought a PS5. Like, you could put your PS4 games in your PS5 and they would run way better, and they don't charge you $20 extra for it. Like, they're not $80. Right now, if you want to play like the full version of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, it's $80, which that's a whole conversation I don't want to get into. Tears of the Kingdom never should have cost $70. That was them testing the waters for what's happening right now, and we all bought it. I bought it, and it kind of sucks. Nintendo is a premium thing now, and they never should have been premium. They don't have a single game that warrants a $70 price tag. Quality, yes, their games are really good. Look at other games out there. Like, let's be so serious. Nintendo games, they were always meant to be the budget option. They're like a toy. Nintendo is like a toy, and they're trying to be like Apple now. I'm getting pissed. Their head has gotten out of control. That's what this video is about. Nintendo's freaking out, and now I'm freaking out because I'm a Nintendo fan. I should have said that at the beginning of the video, but I'm not making this video because I'm just some spineless weeb who wants to complain about a kid's company or whatever. But like, they've just gotten out of hand, man. Like, they are not the same company anymore. Their pricing strategy has been absurd. I'm gonna pull up the website in a minute. This video is unscripted, by the way, just like the last one, if you couldn't tell. But we're gonna look at some of the hardware on their website in a minute because like that's a big part of the pricing conversation for me. Their Their pricing on just about everything has been egregious. And I know there's the argument that like they're a company, they're in the business to make money. They should be in the business to make games. If you make music, you should be focused on making good music. If you make movies, your focus should be making good movies, not money. And it's the same with games. Games is an art form. You're not just consuming like product. This is like media. This is art. There should be some integrity here. There should be some respect back and forth between the company, like the customer. They're not throwing people any bones nowadays. Everything costs so much money. The hardware is just simply outdated. Like, I don't know much about the Switch 2, but yeah, that's still outdated. Like, you could get a Steam Deck that's way older than the Switch 2 and it will run third-party games better. It just feels like such a cash grab, dude. Like, the Switch 2 to me is ridiculous. I don't want one. I might get one eventually just to play the new Zelda when it comes out, but I'll probably buy used. I'll probably buy as much as I can used because I'm just not in the mood to give them money. Their head is too big. And the new games, I gotta be honest, I know I talked their games up a lot a minute ago, but their new games to me, they've always kind of looked like fun and childish and had like that look to them. But before they were a lot harder and like looked like they were created by a passionate master of what they were doing, you know? But nowadays, their games just kind of look way too easy. I didn't buy Mario Wonder. Like, have you guys played like the new Super Mario Bros games? Like, New Super Mario Bros. Wii is like my favorite Mario game. If you play Mario Wonder now, it's so easy. There's like zero challenge in that game. It just seems like they're trying to make their games for every breathing organism on the planet just so they can sell the most amount possible. They're not catering to their fans. They're not catering to gamers. The games now just look like they're made to be for everyone. Same with the console even. Like, they're using flashy words like 4K 60 and whatever. Like, their core audience does not care about that. Their core audience does not care about third parties. Their core audience cares about new and innovative and interesting games because that's what they've always been. They've always made dope games. But now their games are super lame. Like, I don't care what the critic reviews say. Metroid Prime 4 looks like trash, dude. And same with Pokemon Legends ZA. Like, this was gonna be the year. I've never played Pokemon. I played Pokemon XD for the GameCube. That's the only one I've ever played. And I only played like 10 hours of it. But this year I was like, oh, maybe I should play Pokemon Legends ZA because Arceus did super well and I haven't played that yet, but maybe I'll go back and play that one. But then it came out and that game looks like absolutely, I'm not gonna swear. I'm gonna try not to swear on this channel, but that game looks like trash, dude. And the reviews were terrible and it's $70 freaking and the DLC is $30 freaking. Like, what, are we serious right now? For this lazy, I'm not gonna swear, game. And the defenders, I could not be more disappointed with the people who defend Nintendo. If you're watching this and you defend Nintendo, I love you. But like, I'm gonna freak out. Like, you do not need to defend them. It's okay to expect more for your dollar. They're charging you top dollar. You should expect better games. They raise their prices. You should expect better games. It's not rocket science. It's okay to be critical of them. Nintendo fans just act like Nintendo does everything right, and that's so frustrating to watch. Even people who try to be critical of them, like I've seen Arlo try to be critical of Nintendo, and he just like tiptoes around it, you know? Like, sometimes he'll be really critical and say things, but then he'll kind of take it back a little bit, or like he'll say everything except for what the real problem is, you know? He'll be like, oh yeah, well, market conditions and, you know, all this stuff. Like, I'm not here to criticize Arlo. I like his videos. Like, I still watch him. I don't know though. The way I see it is, if you were like a true fan of Nintendo, you wouldn't excuse them actively doing things that are ruining the Nintendo that you love. Nintendo is becoming a shell of themselves, and their so-called fans are watching this happen and tearing down people who criticize them and supporting it, and it's crazy. People are scared to admit that things are bad right now. Their games are like not doing well right now, especially for the price. Like, I think people are ultra critical of Nintendo because of how much things cost. People wouldn't be as critical of Pokemon Legends ZA if it cost $30, like, but it costs $70. Everyone's heard this quote before, but it says, on my business card, I'm a corporate president. In my mind, I'm a game developer, but in my heart, I'm a gamer. That's from Satoru Iwata. That is the previous Nintendo of Japan president, I think. He died in 2015. He made games for the gamers. He's on record for being the guy at Nintendo that was always games first, and that would frustrate people that worked at Nintendo because they wanted to make more money and do more like financial kind of stuff, but he was always games first. And we just don't see that anymore. We live in a world where Nintendo is money first. They're trying to make the most amount of money possible for the least amount of effort. That anti-gamer mentality they have now, they do the best they can to defend their IP through lawsuits, because nothing is more important to them than their legacy, their old games, their IP. They're trying to make Mario into Mickey Mouse or something. But because they have such obsessive fans and people who will just do anything for like Mario or whatever, they are charging these prices and they're doing it with a straight face and people are buying it. They've gone so Disney, dude. Like, their games are easy. Things just feel too safe. It feels like they're trying to reach every audience imaginable, and it's taking away from what made them interesting in the first place. Even Donkey Kong, the new design, like, I know this isn't a big deal, but he looks like a Disney character now. He doesn't look like Donkey Kong anymore. They chopped him up. Everything looks branded and lacks passion and real personality. The games look easy and inoffensive. Even with Metroid Prime 4, that game is supposed to be kind of challenging and hard, and you're supposed to be alone, but they put in NPCs who yap in your face the whole time and tell you where to go and what to do and solve the puzzles for you. Like, that's ridiculous. Games aren't just made to be played through, they're meant to be thought through and understood and figured out. Mario Kart World does not look like something the old Nintendo would put out. Like, yeah, it looks fine, it looks like a good Mario Kart, but it just looks like it is not an $80 game, like, by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like Nintendo has lost their soul through trying to be an empire, like I've talked about. They're trying to be Disney, and it seems like they're constantly unsatisfied with the success they're having, and I guess that is just like the way of a company, of a corporation. But the Switch did really well, and the Switch 2 just kind of feels like a punishment. Like, people went out of their way to support the Switch. Like, most serious Nintendo gamers own like multiple Switches. They sold a ridiculous amount of those things, and they made a profit on each and every one of them. Where market conditions have changed, they've only raised the prices, and a lot of this people will say is because of tariffs, because of whatever. Like, we have to admit at some point that Nintendo is just super greedy. Like, that is how I feel. I see a greedy company right now. They're not giving people discounts, they're not giving people deals, they're not giving people incentive. They're just saying, this is Mario, we know you'll buy it, $80. This is Pokemon, we know you'll buy it, $70 plus $30 DLC, pay up. And they're putting the least amount of effort possible. And it just sucks to see, man. You know, like, I am a Nintendo fan. I have a Switch. I still play it like almost every day. My favorite game franchise is Zelda. I don't think there's very many Nintendo games I've ever played that I dislike. And that's what gets me so worked up about this, is like they're just gonna become another company that went bad, you know, unless things change. It's gonna get to the point where I'm just like, well, I guess I'll just find indie games that are similar to the old Nintendo games I used to play. And I know it's not healthy to just like be married to a corporation or whatever, but like, it's fun to support like the people who make really good stuff. And I think people really latched onto Nintendo because they were putting out bangers. And I think it's really sad to just see people support their downfall and support them just making slop, instead of the fan base coming together and agreeing like, this is not chill. Okay, real quick, I just wanted to look at the website because I think some of this stuff is actually crazy. Like, the price of the system is a lot, but it's not like too crazy, you know? I know companies don't owe us anything, but it would have been nice to be cheaper, you know? The Switch 2 could have been cheaper, but I think the system itself is not the issue. It's just a lot of things attached to it, like the C button on there being like something that's paywalled now, and the Joy-Cons, look at this, these are $100, bro. $100. Look at me, $100, $100 for Joy-Cons. These are like not even a real controller. These are not ergonomic at all. Joy-Cons are not good controllers. Just, they're not. And maybe I haven't tried the new ones, like the bigger ones, but they're maybe a little better now that they're bigger or whatever, but I doubt it. But I don't know. This, okay, $90 for the Switch Pro controller. I'm sorry, dude. Like, have you guys ever seen like premium controllers on Amazon, like the 8-bit Do or 8-bit Do ones? Like, they're nowhere close to that price. They're like $70, $60, and they don't have control, like stick drift. These are gonna get stick drift eventually. Okay, and lastly, I want to talk about these amiibo. Like, these are tiny little minifigures, and $30, whatever. Like, these used to be what, like 10, $15? This is $50. This Kirby amiibo is $50. Why? Why, you ask? Because it's Kirby. We know you'll buy Kirby. You love Kirby, don't you? Here, eat this Kirby. Buy this Kirby. Where's your wallet? Give me that. Whip out your wallet. It's a Kirby. Gosh, man, it pisses me off. Okay, the Virtual Boy thing, I think this is actually really cool that they have a Virtual Boy thing. $100, that is not cool. It's a plastic thing. It's not even like a hardware. There's no actual hardware to it. You just put your Switch in there. And on top of it, in order to even use the Virtual Boy, you need to pay for a subscription, which I think is absurd. I think if you buy this for $100, you should just get the games. Like, they're yours forever. Because if you buy this $100 piece of hardware and you stop paying for Switch Online, you don't get to play the Virtual Boy games anymore. Like, that's actually freaking ridiculous, bro. And this $25 for this cardboard, get out of here, bro. I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna like just print off your own at this point or something. Like they sell Joy-Cons individually now. And what? They're 55? You pay more. It's 110 if you buy them separately. Get out of here, dude. The Switch Pro controller went up in price. It was 70 when I bought it. I should not have even paid 70 for it. I should have got like an actual like premium controller on Amazon. 90 bucks for Joy-Cons. Those are toys, bruh. Those are Fisher Price looking toys. This is outdated hardware. 90 bucks. I do not care what you say. I do not care about tariffs. I do not care about market conditions. This is greed. This is ridiculous. It's sad, bro. It's sad. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm down to have that conversation. I just ask that you please be respectful in the comments. It's so funny. Nintendo fans are like the only people I feel like I need to say that for. Nintendo fans are some of the most feral people I've ever met. But if you are one, and if you want to argue with me, that's fine. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, am I alone in thinking this? Am I crazy for thinking they've got out of hand? I feel like I'm schizo a little bit because people online still just glaze them. I feel like I'm the problem or something. But if you agree with me, I'd love to have the conversation. I appreciate you indulging my yap sesh. I know this video was all over the place, but if you really want to see Nintendo change, don't give them money anymore, because they're not going to change just because they like you. That's not how this works. They're going to get worse and worse and worse if they think they can get away with it. That's how that works. I just want to enjoy Nintendo again, you know, but I feel like I can't. I can't with where it is right now, with how the games are right now, with how greedy they are right now. Like, I want to be a part of it. I just feel like I can't. But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much for like watching my last video too. I cannot believe how many views it got. I got like 100 new subscribers too. Like, that's so crazy. It's really good to have all you guys here. Your comments are seriously like so nice. It's really good to meet all of you, and all of you guys bullying me in the comments for not liking bananas. Genuinely, thank you guys for watching. Like, I don't really know what I was expecting out of this channel, but this has gone way farther than I thought it would. Thank you for watching. Please comment your thoughts. Like, I want to have this conversation. And if you are a Nintendo fan, I'm sorry if this came off as aggressive. I really didn't mean to like hurt anybody's feelings. It's just a guy talking, you know. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you all next time.